In this video, we'll be looking at the derivative of exponential functions. The derivative of b to the x is b to the x times the natural log of b, where b is a constant. It's important to notice that b is a constant here. Students often try to use this rule in other situations when they're not supposed to. For example, if I gave you y equals x to the x power, sometimes students try to use this rule here, but we can't because notice the base of this exponential expression is not a constant, it's a variable itself. So this requires a different type of differentiation, logarithmic differentiation, which we'll see later. This rule applies to bases that are constants. For example, let's look at y equals 2 to the x. Notice you have an exponential expression there and the base is a constant. So y prime is, basically we copy what we have to begin with, and then we multiply by the natural log of the base, 2. And that's y prime. In this example, notice we have an exponential function, but we also need to eventually use the chain rule. So I'm going to begin by rewriting this as 10 raised to the 2x to the 1/2 power. You don't have to do that, but sometimes just recognizing that the square root is really just x to the 1/2. So now y prime. First we use the exponential rule, which says basically we copy what we're given to begin with, multiply by the natural log of the base, which is 10, and here's where we need to use the chain rule, because it wasn't simply 10 to the x, it was 10 raised to a different function. So we need to use the chain rule, meaning we need to multiply by the derivative of that exponent. So let's multiply by the derivative of 2x to the 1/2. The derivative of that is x to the negative 1/2 power. And now simplifying this, we get 10 raised to the 2 square root of x times the natural log of 10 all over the square root of x. So here we have an exponential function, but it looks like we'll need to use the chain rule again because the exponent is not simply x, it's actually x cubed. So f prime is, copy what you had to begin with, so we'll copy 2 raised to the x cubed times the natural log of the base, and then we need to multiply by the derivative of the exponent. That's using the chain rule. The derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. And I just like to rewrite this. In this function, we have an exponential function inside of a trig function. So we'll need the chain rule, and we'll also need the trig and exponential rules. So g prime, the outside function first, the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Copy the inside of that sine function. And now the chain rule, we have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. So here's where the exponential rule is coming into play. Derivative of 3 to the x is 3 to the x times the natural log of 3.